Hi everyone, Rifle Joe here again. Have you ever been in the situation where you had your rifle zeroed at the range and shooting off bags, you had a beautiful group centered exactly where you wanted it to be. Then you went out to the field hunting, or maybe you went to a competition, pulled off your beautiful shot, vectored it off and missed the target. If you're one of those people, you need to watch this episode. These are the zeroing targets at 25 meters, and we're supposed to be clustering in about 3/4 of an inch. So I didn't quite have the correct front sight to get where I really needed to be. However, the proof is in the pudding at about 100 meters. Essentially what we're trying to do for a 200 meter zero is cluster about 3/4 of an inch high while aiming at the 6 o'clock position of the base of this 1.5 by 1 inch little target here. So we should be clustering right about there. That's not bad. No, it's not bad. A little bit low. So we're aiming just a little bit low at 200 meters, simply because I don't have the front sight. I've zeroed 2 rifles here. You can see where we're way off, and then we kind of bring it into the center. Way off, kind of bring it into the center from left to right. These are 2 different rifles, right? So they're grouping a little bit low. They should be a little bit higher than that, but sometimes you just got to work with what you got. So we've got a 10 round group here. We've got a 10 round group here. This is the number 4 Mark II. And this here is the long branch. This is for Zachary. This is long branch. 1954, 1943, the long branch. When I first started off, I had both of these rifles dialed in to the point where I was getting almost 10 rounds inside the black circle here, which is about 2.5 inches across. Off bags, supported. As soon as I went prone unsupported with the use of the sling, my groups jumped over to the right. So this was the first group of 10 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 rounds here, 10 rounds here after I made a sight adjustment. So I got to bring it over a little bit more. The number 4 Mark II isn't shooting as good as the long branch. Of course, the long branch is Canadian. But I did notice that the number 4 Mark II's got a little bit of, the barrel's just a little bit too loose inside the wood. So something's happened with the draws. I'm going to have to look at the bedding. Not a problem. Fixing the draws is actually an easy fix. I should make a video for you guys on how to do that. Number 4 Mark I Star, long branch. Again, I was easily getting all 10 rounds inside one of these 2.5 inch circles. As soon as I started shooting prone, unsupported with the use of my sling, my group bounced over here, and these are 2 flyers. It's a very good shooting rifle, the long branch. So you will see that if you zero your rifle off bags and expect that that's where it's always going to shoot in real life conditions, you are sorely mistaken. This group moved 3 inches between shooting off bags and shooting prone unsupported with the use of a sling. Made a sight adjustment, so the group, but I'm starting to run out of time, so I'm not paying as much time and effort on my marksmanship principles. I'm running out of time, I gotta get back. Made a sight adjustment, moved over from here to center is right about there. One more sight adjustment, you can see I'm really in a bit of a hurry now. So the group isn't very good, but it is roughly centered kind of where I want it. I'll have to spend some more time later just reaffirming that. However, we are kind of where we need to be for 200. We're just going to be a little bit low at 200 meters with the front sight that I had to swap out. I had to swap out my front and rear sight on the long branch because, well, the rear sight, the vernier rear sight was completely worn out. You almost couldn't feel the clicks anymore, so try to find rear sights. They're real hard to do. And it was the same thing with this one here. So both rifles needed to be zeroed. Not quite satisfied. I have made another sight adjustment for the Fazurkali here, the number 4 Mark II. I have yet to see where that's printing, but I should be pretty close to being where I need to be. Both rifles are pretty much dialed in and zeroed. And it took me, at this point in time, it's started about 1, it's almost 4, so 3 hours to zero 2 rifles. Not quite there, almost there. Another 20 minutes and I have it dialed in perfectly. But I gotta go. So, big difference, folks. Don't go hunting. Don't go to a competition based on a zero that you've established off bags. If you're going to be shooting in prone, sitting, standing, the rifle's not going to shoot the same. Consistent application of fire, if you're shooting sitting, prone, standing, and you use a sling every time. Don't shoot one course of fire with it and one course of fire without it, because you lose the consistency of your sight, your sight adjustments. The rifle is reacting to the amount of tension that you put on it, the amount of the manner in which you're gripping the rifle. And if you're not doing it consistently from time to time, when the rifle barks off a round, it will perform differently if you don't shoot with consistency every time. And this proves that. So don't go hunting or go to a competition without reaffirming your zero in the shooting positions that you would normally utilize under whatever circumstance that you're going to find yourself in, especially you hunters. It's one of the reasons why we see more wounded game, is because of this phenomenon. This is Rifle Chair signing off. Hope you enjoyed the video, and it's nice to not have to do a political video for once. Let's get back to shooting. Rifle Chair signing off. Maple Leaf up.